Welcome back, Inkspill Glimmers. This is episode 2 of our tournament reports for the Winterspell Set Championships. In this episode here, I'm going to go with the second tournament we played in the first weekend of Set Champs, where I brought my personal deck. This one I kind of vetoed out of the wheel. I wanted to play my own deck at my at my workplace. So it was at the Mythic store. So I just you know wanted to play my baby at my workplace. Everything lining up perfectly. Wouldn't you say? So yeah, this deck I've spoken about like a million times. People must be quite tired to hear me rambling on about the miracles of blue steel, uh, as if I was in some kind of cabal or something. So the deck hasn't changed a lot since its iteration in Richmond, which granted me top 32 in the DLC in Richmond. So we're still starting off the curve with something that loots with Mulan, this guy's soldier. You have your creature ramp in Tipo Growing Sun, which is a great, excellent partner piece with Sail the Azurite Sea, which is one of you, those are the two most pivotal cards in your deck. You want to see that in your starting hand. If not, you're gonna have a bad time. Then you go into Cinderella, which is a further way to ramp and to execute the very important 2-4-6 strategy. So Cinderella, a super busted card. In my opinion, one of my favorite cards ever, I want to say. And then you have as a partner piece to that, I used to be running Kida, the creative thinker. Now I changed her for a card from Winterspell, Bell Snowfield Strategist, which enables you to go even more over the top if you have a start with Mulan and Tipo. You're able to just challenge into your opponent's characters, and they'll become ink with the help of your Bell. And in the most crazy scenarios, you'll be able to Hades by turn 4, which is quite crazy if you ask me. But you know, this is just a kind of a Christmas land scenario. You never really need to Hades by turn 4. You can wait turn 5 or later on in the game. Um, One of the new add-ons too with Winterspell, you have two of them right here. You have Angel, experience 624. I mentioned her in the last episode. Super good against dogs, super good against any kind of aggro strategy. Pairs really well in this deck with Goliath. Okay, she might not get her resist plus 2 anytime soon, but she allows you to just get rid of cards you don't really have the means to play, to just dig deeper with Goliath at the end of turn, and just that offers you a lot of free damage uh, with her second ability. Another new card from Winterspell is Pete, which has boost 1, and that card snowballs really, really hard. Uh, at first, it's really large. It's a 5/5 for 5, so at this point, it's just really good, a good, really good body on the board. And then also with every boost, you get to dig one card deeper. With your first boost, you're gonna probably draw a card off of it. Then it turns into develop your brain, and by the time you have 5 cards under him, it's a full-on visions of the future. So that's crazy. It helps you find your answers every turn. It's if if the Pete is left unchecked, you're probably winning most of your games. Then you have Namari, which is still a super good engine for digging, for looting, as she's a princess. So just furthers your ramp plan with Cinderella. Same thing for Ariel. She is a board control monster. You have a few songs in this deck, and you get a lot of value of activating your Ariel turn after turn. And she's a princess for Cinderella again. One of your best 6 drops is Goliath. I mentioned him. He will always reset your hand back to 2 at the end of turn. He'll do so with your opponent too. When you're playing against things like Blurple that tend to have a lot of cards in hand, and you drop a turn 4 Goliath, they're like, oh shoot, I really have to get rid of those cards. If not, I'm gonna discard 2, 3, 4 cards at once, and they really don't want to do that because it really hinders their plan. Um, then you have Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell's super good against any strategy that wants to stick to the board, uh, like purple, steel, like, and especially dogs. This is a very key card against dogs. Super good. I'm always like mulliganing to find her when I know my opponent is on dogs. They'll have a hard time just being able to not get run over by the Tinkerbell. Hades is just your classic removal, super good. Uh, 7 drop, uninkable, will deal with almost anything. Arthur is still a spice I love, 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 that I discovered in last set, where you can give resist +2, challenger +2, and the ability to challenge a ready character. So I really like giving that to my Tinkerbell, but it's really good to give to anything, or really, that your characters are so large that they're always gonna go eat up something good on the other side of the board for uh, minimal investment, I want to say, especially with the resist 2 that Archer gives. You have Vincenzo, again, a very good removal. It's my favorite target for the 3 damage is Dumbo. It's so great to be able to deal with Dumbo cleanly, just like slam. 7 drop that will quest for 3, put a huge clock on the board, and deal with their best character. And finally, I kept 1 copy of the Horsemen. I was playing more of them in my last iteration, but now I needed space for other stuff, for other new cards that I think are really good. So the Horsemen just everybody draws 3 cards and discards 3 cards at random. Every action will deal 2 damage to a chosen character. You get to choose a character after the whole process of drawing, discarding. So it's really good. It's a good tool against blue green. I feel it's able to deal with the big Prince Philip and with Clarabelle really cleanly in general, especially since you have like 20 something ish actions. Well, 19 action in your deck, and probably they have a bunch too. So you'll be able to scramble up 6 damage with your Horseman. Then I talked about develop your brain. Very good way to find your pieces early on in the game. If you don't have your ramp on 2, or if you don't have your Cinderella, it will help you dig for that. Sail is the quintessential ramp. And Spooky Sight is super useful against matchups, again, that want to commit to the board with smaller characters, like dogs and like Purple Steel. Sometimes against Purple Steel, it's a double-edged knife. You'll probably give them enough juice to be able to reload uh, fast if their hand was just like small characters and they don't have like efficient ways to reload right away. You're probably winning that game. So, like I say, double-edged knife, uh, but also always excellent against dogs. And then you have your songs that go very, very well with Ariel. I had to trim back on Hurl this Thunderbolt because it's uninkable, and the deck already runs a higher number of uninkables. But you have the good old Let It Go that is back from set number 1 and is more unconditional, I feel. And Beyond the Horizon, that's trying to do now it's not even trying to do an impression of a whole new world. It's just a way to refill really really efficiently, especially since you really speed run into 7 drops in this deck. And Ink Runner, great item. People are always asking me why I'm not running, but I must much faster, the 1 drop song from Whispers in the Well that gives alert and challenger +1. It just goes this cantrips and this is repeatable. Uh, I value the fact that you can give alert to stuff repeatedly instead of just dealing 1 3 damage if you have aerial on board that the songs enable you. So yeah, Ink Runner much better than the song. So like I said, I brought this deck to the my second day of set champ at the store I work for, the Mythic store. Um, and I have the matchups right here. So I started the day against the Purple Steel, which is the matchup I absolutely want to see with this deck. So it really preys on Purple Steel really hard, and I was super happy to play against that a bunch of times in my day. You'll see in the breakdown. Then I faced a really spicy deck. It was Ember Sapphire Ward, so it played in a similar fashion. The early part of the deck was playing similarly to Steel Song, but they were trying to accood into 5 drops that are ward, like Scuttle. They were accooding into the Chief Powhatan. They were trying to go really big and undealable, I want to say, with the ward characters. But in the end, I think my strategy was a bit more efficient and I was able to chain a bunch of Arthurs that kind of are the perfect answer to ward characters. You just get something super big and then slam into the ward character. In the third round, I played again against Purple Steel. Was quite close. Came out to a few top decks that were really key. I think Arthur again was one of my outs in one of the games. If not, I was losing on that turn. Was able to top deck the Arthur, dealt with the whole board, and then quested away to victory. So that's about it. Sometimes you also need a little luck, even though it's your best matchup. They have some really aggressive starts, and especially that build was a bit more slanted on burn and aggressive characters that quested for a lot. So it was going a bit faster than regular Purple Steel. In the fourth round, I did with the Blurple player to ensure myself a top 4. So at this point, where we go to top cut, it was a top 4 since we were just shy of the right number to make a top 8. I think we were missing one person at that point. It would have been a 5-round top 8, but no matter. So I played in the semis against Purple Steel again. He was the same opponent that I played the day before at the when I was myself playing Purple Steel. So I was able to just kind of run away with the game again, as the matchup was super favorable on my side, and I knew what he was running, so I could keep really optimal hands, and you know. And in the finals, I played against the Blurpole player I did against in round 4. Uh, in game 1, I turbo high rolled. I had everything. I mega ramped into being able to have Hades by turn 4, I want to say. And at this point, it was so hard for him to get back into the game. The game was really long, though, with surprisingly, it was still a good battle and it was still a close game. But I ended up just clawing my way out of it. And in game 2, he missed ramp on turn 2, so that kind of sealed the deal right then and there. It was I had my normal curve of 246, and he didn't do anything on turn 2, so it was at this point it was just sealed, and that's what enabled me to get a second playmat. for the weekend. So it was two tournaments, two playmats in the first weekend. I was quite happy about that, especially being able to win at my store. But the other thing is, I have to kind of nuance this with the fact that I vetoed to play this deck. Uh, this is the deck I knew I was probably gonna do the best with. It's my personal deck. It's the one I practice a whole lot. I played, I want to say, well over 1,000 games with it. I know every twist and turn and nick and knack of the deck. It's and it goes on to show you that even though it's not one of the big decks that people are playing, it's not dogs, it's not blurple, it's not purple steel. It's, I want to say, just a, people generally put it in like the tier 1.5 designation. But I would bring this in a heartbeat to any tournament because I played so many games with it that I know how it ticks and how it turns and how it just functions. So I feel it gives me an edge on most of the really popular matchups. So yeah, this is the run with the blue steel. Also, shameless plug, I'm gonna be putting the link to my guide on this deck. I updated it for Winterspell quite recently, and will probably be monitoring really closely for Wilds Unknown. I hope to be able to keep playing that deck. I love it. I just been so good to me all throughout Whispers in the Well metagame and now during Winterspell metagame. So I'll see if I can write it out until rotation. And yeah, that's about it. And reminding you all to keep questing.